Call committee meeting to order. Go short, please call roll.
Here.
Here. Here. Here. All right, we got number two. I said item number two to table to May 21st. So we need item number three. For the American Grain Technology, Mr. Muhammad. Here. All right, so I'll tell you what those will move to item number 4. I know I see Mr. Sauk. So Sauk here. Right, so on. Gina, if you like, item number 4.
Good evening, everybody. How are you?
Good evening. I walked right past you. You should talk about that. Don't do
I called Deputy and asked if I could leave it before the meeting because, as we all know, this has been a long time since we were all first introduced to one another, well over a year. And just to bring you all to speed on where we're at, after we had initially installed the sample lights for folks to evaluate and whatnot, the next step was then to try to obtain financing for you folks. And it was only at that point in time that we learned of the scope of the issues with the village. And it was brought to our attention that essentially the loan had been suspended. And it became very, very challenging for us to obtain financing through our normal financial sources. We have literally gone just shy of Tony Soprano on 80 folks a month. We recently began working with I'll term as a bulldog in financing, who's taken it upon themselves to go above and beyond to try to find some financing sources to get this deal done for folks. Now, one of those sources came back to us, messaged us the other week, and indicated that he had spoken with Mohan, and Mohan was under the impression that you folks are going to have to come up with some money in order to get this project off the ground. And I just thought it would be prudent to visit with you folks again tonight to review the fact that that was never asked of you from the get-go, and we still hope that that won't be the case. Okay? All that we really need from you folks is a commitment to stick with us as these finance people work through trying to find a funding source for you. And the hope is still to be able to offer you a program where not only will it, we won't ask you for a nickel, but you'll also be able to defer a payment for an entire year, which allows the village to reap the benefits of close to $250,000 in both energy maintenance savings as well as DCEO incentive rebate check that's paid out within 45 days of us all signing off that the project's been successfully completed. Okay, so I brought along some numbers here just to review with you folks. I just brought the summary page, this won't take long. Okay, great. I'm just going to point everybody down to the little forward check down at the bottom center of the page, which speaks to the first year benefit. That first year benefit is made up of $137,000 in DCEO incentive rebate monies. Okay, now let me elaborate on what that is exactly, so everybody has clarity and thought on it. It is an incentive rebate. It is not a grant. It is not something that we apply for in advance of getting a project off the ground. Once the project is completed, we submit the documentation, and they pay out those monies to us. What I do, is I get what's called a pre-authorization form before we do any work at all. It's essentially a guarantee note that will be provided to you folks here at the village, which says that $137,000 of DCEO incentive monies is set aside specifically for this lighting project. Okay? Once we complete the installation, we submit what's called a final authorization, which the mayor signs off on to DCEO, and then generally speaking, within 45 days, the check is cut and mailed up to you folks. Okay? Beyond that, The balance of that $243,000 comes in the way of energy and maintenance savings in the area of $106,000 for the first year. That number can be found there you go. Okay? So if we had the 106 and the 137 together, we come up with a total of 243. Now, because of the credit situation here, our hope is that we can still find a financier that's willing to work with us and with you to offer the first year deferred payment program. But I can't get that answer until the village is fully cooperative with the finance people that are calling down here looking for additional information that they need in order to make a decision. Okay? So, are there any questions about any of this?
Yeah, one question. This check that you have here with green savings, that's not an actual check, it's just
That's an example of what your first example.
It's not something
No,
that you're gonna, because I'm looking at the savings, which is an estimate.
Well, it's an estimate based upon what your people gave us in the way of what you're currently spending to run your existing lighting system.
But now, the total estimated utility incentive, that is actually money, correct?
Yeah, that's an actual calculation. There's a formula that DCEO has us work. That's an actual number, yes.
So actually, how much would we get?
$137,214. And there's no wiggle room. The number is the number. It's just a math
No,
problem.
I just want to, because I'm looking at 243, I don't want to get that confused.
Right. It's just a way to help you to see the full first year benefit of the city. But do I have a commitment to continue spending time, money, and energy on this from you folks?
But I think the board has already committed that we're just waiting for you to come back with, getting everything running. Again, we know that the village is not supposed to be out any money, so I think we're committed to the fact that we're not putting out any money at this time or going forward at this time. So we appreciate everything that you're doing to help the village out and get these out of the money. So I guess the board would probably look at, a timetable on exactly when you think that you'll have an answer. And probably the second question is what information are you looking
As far as the timetable is concerned, as soon as possible. Mind you, I've had several $1,000s invested in both lights and labor sitting out here for over a year now. Okay, so we are highly motivated to try to find a way to make this work. The second part of your answer, of what they're looking for, I don't particularly know. These are the finance people. They've got their list of requirements, their list of questions that they need answered. Mohan's been very cooperative up until recently when like I said, he messaged back that there was concern that we might be asking you folks for some monies up front. And the brakes were applied at that point. And I made it pick up the phone, spoke to Abby, and she invited me here to speak with you folks tonight.
Are you on board with this now, or do you still have a cloud here?
Right now, I have political information regarding credit ethics, that's why I
we're very clear that there's no money that the village puts up front at all.
That's part of the way our whole program has been always, and we really presented to you folks. If you recall, if you want to revisit the meeting minutes, when you meet with you folks, watch YouTube.
You've been here a few times.
It's all out there.
So we can go ahead and move forward any information if they need. Again, we're not signing anything, we're not approving to pay out any money.
The only document you folks are signing was a document that said that if this were to fall apart, that I have access to my lights to pull them out.
Correct.
Beyond that,
what role
Jalil Muhammad from American Green Technology plays in all this.
It's kind of new to us. I think it was something that the previous administration was working on, so we were trying to figure out exactly what he was doing. He said also that he had some laptop also, so again, one of the very important for us now to find out if he has laptop, where they're at. Because I mean, as a board member, I remember meeting with him, I don't remember meeting with other people.
The YouTube that I watched with him, I think it was last June, it sounded as if it was his first meeting with folks. And I've done some research on him, and I was kind of hoping I would follow him tonight so that we would have an opportunity to share my findings as a little bit right now. But what I will say is that I and my company are the only LED company that's successfully completely retrofitted and installed an entire city streetlight system here in the environment, not unlike what we're looking to do for you folks. And if you're looking to speak to your counterparts in that city, be it the mayor, public works director, the city manager, et cetera, okay, I'm more than happy to provide their contact information to you, and they're more than happy to speak with you. You have their experience with me and our company. Okay, sort of set up what we can accomplish. Beyond that, we probably have more installations of this sort than any other company in the Chicagoland area in the last year and a half. So I was hoping to have you folks as part of that team, but we're not giving up quite yet.
Okay.
So what I will say is this, is when we finally, if we get a place where we've thrown up our hands and said, there's nothing else we can do, then I promise I'll let you know that.
And you're probably asking for your lights out.
And that will certainly be part of it, yes. And that will certainly be part of it, okay? But I promise you, I'm not just going to go away, okay, and not say anything, okay? Once we have to either make it work, or we're going to just say, I'm sorry, I can't make it work, at which point I'll be sure to communicate that to all of you folks very, very clearly, okay? So if you don't hear from me for a week or so, doesn't mean we're not working. The finance people are trying to work, and more than likely they're communicating with Mo. Okay?
All right.
Okay, great.
Any other questions?
You still got your standpoint?
You got 5 or 6 of them out there last night. I just broke 103 of them on the way.
Not working for you.
I haven't heard otherwise. What's a good sign, so.
All right, thank you very much.
Nice seeing you again. Thanks. Have a good day.
Take care. All right, item 5, schedule a budget hearing for the fiscal year May 1st through April 30th, 2014. Been working on the budget with Mohan, some little things that we're still trying to work on, so we're going to present a budget to the board. And I would look to see if the board is available. Again, we're looking for the new board. I think it's probably best that the new board be involved in the public, the hearing. So I'm looking for June the 1st. Let's see if I'm available. We'll probably be all day, so we'll probably start at 9 o'clock. June the 1st. It's a Saturday. You could be here for 3 or you can be here for 3?
I'm not going to be here.
Well, I guess here's the question. Well, the other question is, do we want to do a half a day on Saturday and then maybe pick up a little bit on Tuesday before the next board meeting? And see if we can wipe out certain things, maybe try to get through all the departments on Saturday and then pick up the rest of the remainder of the expenditures and revenues and the tips on Tuesday night, or Tuesday night after. Committee. Yes. Is that okay with everyone? Obviously, well, you can't be here till 3 o'clock. So do we want to do an evening meeting then on Saturday? Well, we can also do evenings. I mean, before in the past, we've taken like a couple Wednesday nights and Thursday nights. say we set certain times. We say 6 o'clock, and we end by 9 o'clock, or no later than 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then we come back and do it the next night. What's the Wednesday and the Thursday before that?
Wednesday, 29th,
29th and 30th? How's everyone scheduled for the 29th and 30th? Is that okay? We'll say, let's start with 6 o'clock on Wednesday and Thursday forward. No later than 9:30. That'll give us 3.5 hours each night. It's a total of 7 hours. Okay with that? Wednesday and Thursday both. We'll plan for both those nights when you get the meeting notice out. And then if the village clerk can reach out, I don't see elect trustee Washington or so. Give an email. Okay, make sure you email her. Is she here? I see 11:07. Okay. All right, so we're going to meeting notice out for the 29th, I'm sorry, what's the date again?
29th and 30th.
Thank you. May 29th, make sure it's in the record, 29th and 30th, starting at 6 o'clock p.m. to go no later than 9:30 p.m. on both nights. Does everyone agree? I see you nodding your heads.
Yeah.
All right, so that would be our scheduled budget here. All right, item number 6. We have donation of property ordinance before you. This is for a property on Peterson Avenue. Yeah, thank you very much. You should have had the ordinance in your box, and I think we might have had an email too. Did everyone have a chance to look at that? Any questions? Again, this is another property that's being donated to the village of Sauk Village. All closing costs, taxes, everything's being paid for by the companies donating the properties, so the village isn't out, except for our attorneys to sign papers. You know, we're looking at this property. This property here is in not very good shape. But what we're also doing is working with South Suburban Mayors and Managers Land Bank. And what I would like to do is, we've shown them these properties. The land bank is willing to come in, and I'm trying to get money for the first property, because the first property that was given to us was in pretty good shape, so that we can put money back into our general fund. And I would look to the board to donate this property over to South Suburban Mayors and Managers Land Bank. What they will do, they'll come in, and probably this property will tear it down and come back in and build another property, another house right on top of the property at no cost to the village. And they take the property, they build on it, and put it back on the market. So that's what we're looking to do. No, it's going to the village.
Is it boarded up right now, and we have to make sure it's secure?
Well, probably it's going to secure it. It's not a property yet.
So, right now, it's not boarded.
Yeah.
Right.
I haven't looked at it recently. Go ahead with the proposal. Well, again, the inside of the house isn't in the best shape, that's why I'm willing to just give it to South Suburban Mayors and Managers. There. So we've been dealing with, in fact, Commissioner Holcomb has been dealing with line already. So, any questions? You can review the ordinance. If you have any questions, let us know. But the attorneys have also reviewed all the information, and they said it benefits the village to get these properties. All right. So the question is item number 6, the county camper can watch. This is Trustee Myers.
One of the things that was brought up repeatedly during the election, board election, along with the neighborhood watch, a couple of things that the president wanted to get a modified true neighborhood watch. Ms. Washington and myself, we put a meeting together, and we met with
He had to put his own consensus.
Okay, but we can purchase, and I know there's gonna be money involved, but once again, this is something that, over months and months, people have more than one. This is a start kit, how to start it, how to run it, you do, different types of programs to run through it, you do the handbook, the leader handbook, you do, handbook for the lock cabin, to give you a handbook to the residents to come in to read. We established our meeting spots, a year ago, and the fire station, and on the third, Thursday, or meeting there. And, you know, that, it's a comfortable place, because a police officer, a couple of different brothers, they got hands out and stuff, and, however, and asking also, I would like to have our community get a sign that states that everybody wants growing community on the entrance to our town, such as about 30 torn, such as or such as those are the main arteries coming into our town. People see that we have a neighborhood watching back and basis of the zone right there. We will, our neighbors and our neighborhood will all physically see suspicious activity. And matter of fact, coming out this afternoon, another town I saw a couple of people on the direct in America. And they have their watch sign close to that town. With that, I'm also asking the board and the mayor to consider this as a committee and that the trustees be set on and be a monthly report. I think it's important enough where the chairperson of that committee will give a report here that I'm just using the word, we covered burglaries and some couple things that I know one time last year I had somebody dressed up in, we had a group full of defense, somebody dressed up in clothes and walked through the building. And I asked him, what was he wearing? You'd be surprised out of, I think we had 15, 20 people there. We got a different description of that. And when police department needs, well, this is what we were trained to be able to describe the officer or to the dispatch what first they see. And many times over the last week or so, when I played up my surgery stuff, I've heard people call in on the radio and you'd be surprised at the description they gave. But that, again, that will train them with a handbook to pick up. I would like to, during the budget procedure, to close a budget Tuesday board with the mayor. I want to do something to cover the cost of our materials, but I don't know. If need be, there's material for that. I will make sure that the people get in it. Still have a few contact areas that we can use. The most important thing is that the outside people coming in our town know we have neighborhood watch and staff and our people will call. two towns around the area, and after they started the neighborhood watch program, how the crime stuff went down. And the president of the police department said, it would help if we could get the information out there to our residents to give us exact description of who they saw on the way, because of their car, the color of the car, something is that it's dark town, pit town, but there's times when they just really, by giving them a color of the town, they do the scene, guessing at it, here the police force looking for a color, Truro, and the bad guy drive a box. There is a lot of burglaries, a lot of break-ins, and there's a lot of vandalism going on in town. We need to stop it. And only way we're going to stop it is bring the police on the road and everything else straight. We need help our residents. And our residents, everybody I asked said, yeah, they would be glad to help us. So this is the way that we bring this home. There are activities program established and everything. We're joining the National Neighborhood Watch Program Association. Cook County recommends that we establish our own such as Sauk Neighborhood Watch Association. We can build on that as it goes through. The chairperson would be able to make contact with the watch captain monthly, just to make sure that the time of activity. Our president, and I've often keep my telephone out, number out to several residents, but they didn't want to there. I think she's something other. So I believe 5 of them already used that. So I said, I don't want to call it afraid. They didn't want my house to be called. Please call it up. I called the people. I said, we want out of that area. They did something for her. But that's how bad it is. Our residents scared of these people out there who should be must be able to go on our unfortunate where I shouldn't be able to go out there and kids come down the street and vandalize the house and knowing that nobody's going to call them. Once again, I asking the board to let me put the program together and bring a budget to the table come budget time and see if we can get started on it. I still will continue to run the program we have now until sometime the hearing board makes a decision on it. We've got a committee or a trustee that's not report. But it's a dynamite thing, and I see nothing good on it. And I need your suggestions. If you're going to purchase the sign something interest for our town, I need your suggestions for the sign. Now, I believe Kevin and the sign company that we're already involved in gets our regular street signs and everything. And he said he might be able to beat this price. So I'm going to meet Kevin as soon as I can with the price. I have all that detail out for you guys. Put in the package and when the time comes. But I am asking the mayor and board to consider that as a committee or should be involved.
You can go back down.
Okay, thank you, Councilor. And then
The starter kits, you said $30 to $109 or $1 piece?
that's what the one here, there's all kinds of different ones there. Once again, Mayor, I will go ahead and give you everything, and then the board will be whatever the board make that recommendation, but they do that right on it. I think that's something. There's a couple of handbooks we don't need. There's up here and signs. I think we do need the signs. I think we do need handbooks and stuff to hang out to the president and stuff. And I think we need to detail. It will detail that the
Any trustees, any trustees have any questions for trustee Meredith? All right, we'll look for the information in our packets. We're going to talk about their budget hearings, it sounds like, so.
Yeah.
Since here saying one time. But, all right, Motion informed me that Mr. Mohammed from American Green Technologies has arrived. All right, so we'll go back to item number 3. Okay, if you speak right in the mic so the residents even hold over, speak over. He's already gone. Okay, that's all right. Let's let it go through.
I'll make sure. You make sure you write this down.
Yes, sir.
Thank you again for allowing me to speak with you. The last time we convened about a year ago, and we discussed how we need to help the citizens of Sauk Village to be beneficial with the lighting that we have. And I'm happy to report that we tested the lights under Kevin's leadership and expertise, including the one that responds to the lights we've given. Overwhelming in the sense that the lights are brighter than the lights that they had previously, and in conjunction, he's pleasantly surprised with the camera footprint. So the lights that we put up, they're going from one side of the street to the other, and that's remarkable. So you haven't seen that before. So with that in mind, I proceeded forward and worked diligently and feverishly trying to get a grant from the state of Illinois, and that grant approval comes to a total of $104,000. Last time we met, a little over 350 lights throughout the entire city, the street lights throughout this village. And so, that in mind, the next question was back to savings to occur. That's the question I thought. The Commonwealth Edison said these lights were installed makes the calculations with a 46% decrease in their electricity. I can't remember what happened, but Mr. Rao gave me a copy of the bill and the I don't know what it is, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a 46%. So, those are the back citizens. That's it.
Where are your lights currently located? You talked about a grant of $104,000 plus some change. I guess some of the questions is, what's, and you should come to copies for the company trustees will see it for 6 hours. What's the village out, if any, to people trusting
lights would be $190,000. So we're looking at about $86,000, $84,000.
So the road would be about $84,000.
Yes, sir.
And that's payable when? I understand creative, but I have to have time.
We could work with villages of their size before, we work with villages that are cash strapped. So we can either put that on lease payment, very quickly, and especially over 6 months.
So who would be financing this?
My finance company. At a very, very attractive rate. And I want to also add figures that were given to us before by the other licensed tenant and our came to $400,000. So we think $200,000 savings just on the lights that these verify these figures.
Yeah, that cost,
Total 190. Yes, sir.
is that $350?
Yes, 350 change.
At what wattage?
Some of them at 100 and others at 200. Yeah, I gave the figures to, because I gave the figures, and I gave you all copies last time I was here.
What about installation?
Installation, that will be an additional cost. I don't know if Kevin has manpower, Kevin has manpower, it would be an additional cost. Keep it on the last one, I'm not mistaken.
What's the approximately registration cost?
Can you repeat that? We can't hear back here.
I'm sorry, we were just talking about if they have to install the lights,
Right.
it's an additional cost of $40 per light for their installation.
Do I need to speak a little louder? Yeah, I'm sorry, please forgive me.
Now, you said you've already applied for this, correct?
That's it right there, yes, sir.
But you don't have the okay yet. In other words, you applied for it as if we brought the lights, we would
No, all, this is pending your approval.
pin it out.
Yes, sir.
I know you said, but who's the grant through in?
State of Illinois ComEd, a joint venture. And allow me to say this for everyone's edification. It's a win-win for the village and Commonwealth Edison. My growing up in the South suburban area over the last 40 plus years, I can remember when we would have a thunderstorm and lights very rarely went out. But now, as you all can testify, we have a minor thunderstorm, lights are going out. That's due in part, not due in full, but due in part to the grid that comes to this hand. That's where power is being thrust upon it. You can't handle the amount that's being thrust upon it. These type of lights lessens that force that's coming to the grid, and thus that's why they're incentivizing villages like yourself and small businesses to take advantage of getting the green additions of lights.
Now, I do remember when you came before.
Yes, sir.
And I did ask a question about retrofit. Would we have to buy, get something that would fit in the sockets that we do have?
That's a great question. Kevin said it took him 7 minutes to install. He installed it in about 7 minutes. It was very simple. He was amazed at that as well. I might add also, since you spoke about that, there's a 10-year guarantee on the lights. 10 years, $100,000. No one knows that. Kevin will verify the warranty that the lights that he was looking at only had a 5-year guarantee. Ours have a 10-year full guarantee. Light goes up, come out, replace it at no cost. That's no cost of installation and the light itself. We don't see the lights going up. 10-year guarantee, $100,000. Based upon the time your lights are on, we did a calculation, Kevin and I did a calculation. it looks like you all have your lights up and running for 18 years. Between 18 and 18 and a half years without any outages. That's based upon, so the 100,000 hours based upon the time that you all have your lights on in the village, we did a calculation of that's 18 to 18 and a half years.
So I'll tell you about a year.
And again, that's invaluable because now Kevin and his staff can attend to more pressing issues. Because villages like yourselves, small cities like yourselves, spend a lot of time replacing lights. We're dealing with a small city in southeast Indiana. And the public works director is a female, and she's overwhelmed with outages that she has. So we're looking at helping you as well.
Any other questions, Commissioner Hall? All right, what we'll do is the village clerk will run off your commission, we'll review it, and we'll meet with Kevin. Kevin's not here, we'll meet with Commissioner Hall also.
Thank you for your patience. Got a Sauk. That's anticipated 2 months.
Congratulations. All right, thank you. All right, go back down to item number 8, public comments. All questions and comments must be directed to the acting mayor. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to comment on a topic of their choice. Each speaker will be allowed 1 opportunity to speak. If Elizabeth is coming to the podium, seeing that you're going to grab the mic for us, I appreciate it very much. This is former trustee John Dennis.
Folks, May the 27th at the cemetery, Memorial Day, and we will have a 50-50 drawing. The VFW will have a 50-50 drawing. Rose Langston has tickets. And by the way, I will say this, I'm waiting on something from the Army Corps of Engineers of what kind of weapon that we can get to the park. And as soon as I get it, I'll forward it on to you. And then we'll have to make arrangements to figure out how we're going to do it.
All right.
Because it all has to be, they'll send a plot of what you need, how it's to be anchored down, and we'll go from there.
All right. On the 27th, I forget what time.
11 o'clock
11 o'clock. 11 a.m. at St. James Cemetery.
at the St. James Cemetery. And everybody's invited. By the way, the crowd keeps getting bigger and bigger, so we never know what we're going to do, so everybody's welcome.
Thank you very much. Trustee Meyer, can you get first?
You're in.
All right. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Langston. The reason I have the tickets is because I missed out getting tickets the last 2 times in a drawing to make sure I have them to sell. They're 7 for $5, 7 tickets. I do want to mention that the senior committee this coming Thursday has been canceled due to several of the members not being available. However, they all been notified that the center is going to be used, I believe, next Tuesday for the celebration. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
I don't remember. First, I want to, Mr. Mohan isn't here, but he answered some questions for me, and I must say I forgot to pick them up. I apologize for wasting this time, but I would like to get those. And the other thing was this: I don't know how you go about letting someone know about potholes. They're not very large now, but they are getting large. So I need to know what I would need to do to let somebody know about those on my block. And the other thing about, I wanted to know about is breaking down the curve for my driveway that I've been asking for some time. So it's actually a driveway and not a hill or,
potholes, if we get the address or the location of the street, we get that information, you get it in the front desk, or come up and get it afterwards, I'll get the information off. There are street repairs being done this year. We're doing almost mile of streets this year already, so I'll find out which street is one of them. As we're doing the street repairs, the curb cuts are being made. I'm not saying that your street is on that list. I get your street address, but it's on Yates is not one of the streets. But again, every year we put in for CDGB grant money to get our streets repaired. And this year we had more streets repaired than in a long time. And in fact, I'll be reporting on something tonight during my report, but I don't want to take up time, so if you stick around, this is my report. I'm going to report on a meeting we had with the governor this last week. It's pretty good.
I'd like to make one more comment. I just wanted to say this. Election night, a bullet came through my window. I didn't quite understand what you were talking about, Trustee Myers. I really couldn't hear you very well. So if I could get some of that information on what you were talking about, I'd also appreciate it.
Yes, I have no problem with the little clerk make up a package. I'll make sure we'll get one to it. Okay? Thank you.
Lawrence Brady. I'd like to say thank you for the new street on 223rd Street, but it's a shame Kirkwood and 223rd Street is going to be ripped out. We got a water leak. While they were repairing, our water main got messed up. So I hope we can get it back in working order. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Roger Matter. I live at Nichols and Brookwood.
Sorry, could you repeat your last name?
Roger Matter.
Matters?
Yes. M-A-T-T-E-R-T. I just had a couple of things. The first one was, I think we were talking about lights, and couldn't hear what either one of the gentlemen was saying. So I guess the segue into that is, the mayor is very easy to understand in these meetings, but nobody else really is. So maybe you guys can be more conscious of using your microphone, so the rest of us can hear. That'll help. But we have a street let out in the cul-de-sac where I live, and there's forest repair behind us, and we've had a number of break-ins in vehicles and houses in that area, and the street light flickers on and off. The sign's been graffiti that's attached to that post that's on the street light, so I don't know what, we have to call Catherine or what the protocol is there, but the sooner that gets replaced or fixed, the better. The crime. And I was actually going to bring up, I don't know if they were aware, but Mr. Brady just brought it up about the water bubbling on from under the street. It's kind of weird. I've seen that over the last week. And the trash, you know, that was tabled. But the new company, what they do is they dump your bins into another bin, and then they lift it overhead and dump it in the back of their garbage can. I don't know if anybody's seen that. But a lot of paper gets all over the place when they do that. And more times than not, the street sweepers come before the trash collection. So there's papers flying all over the place. So I don't know, maybe you can look at that and talk to them. That's all I have.
Right. The street would be like, what street is it?
It's the Reverend Nichols Brookwood Beach, like the cul-de-sac there.
Okay. We have this information from the street light. I met with Skyline and Republic yesterday, and there's a reason why it was my mistake. It should have been on the 21st. I put it on tonight's agenda. I would encourage residents to come and talk to them because they're going to come in. They're talking about the merger. They're going to talk about the new type of trucks that Sauk is going to be getting. We're getting away from the old garbage trucks. You're going to see something totally different. They're going to explain some of the education about how they've always asked residents to send the, I always think this backwards because my kids get garbage out, but they've always asked for the handles to be facing the roads. They're going to be asking now when these new trucks come out, the handles are facing toward your house because of the new mechanism that's going to be picking everything up. We did talk about the garbage when they're dumping in it, because I have received some complaints about the wind blowing the garbage out. So they're going to be going back and talking to their drivers about that. We talked about the one large item that is they're supposed to be picking up that is continuing under Republic. And they've already talked to their drivers to make sure that they do not turn away. Now, one large object, there is some exceptions to it, and I've asked them when they come here on the 21st to talk about the exceptions, because now with the new electronics regulations that they're under, they can no longer take like TVs. There's some other items they cannot take. So if you want them to take it, it's going to cost you. Refrigerators, things with Freon, those items they still do not take. So they're going to come back and kind of give us a refresher and a reminder on some of the things they can take, some of the things they cannot take, and with some of the new state and federal regulations, some of the things that they can no longer take. So I had a meeting yesterday, I met with the new state sales rep. He's going to be here on the 21st. With Gary Blue is still there, and I met with our state representative, Anthony Lucas. So we had a great meeting, and they're excited about the new trucks that they're getting from Sauk Village. In fact, I've asked them, and some people don't realize, is that I've reached out to one of our new trustees and a couple of our trustees sitting here to look for the 4th of July. I'd like to see a parade happen, and I've asked if they can be involved in our parade, and they want to have one of their new trucks in our parade. So they're probably reaching out to one of the 3 gentlemen to find out what they can do to be here on the 4th of July. So. Again, I would encourage you, a lot of this information I've already talked to them about, but I would encourage you to come back on the 21st, and hopefully they'll be prepared to answer these questions going forward. And we're also going to do a big marketing thing. I told them to get with public relations to make sure that we can get this new way of putting your tote out to the street when you're on the website and get it in the Sauk Talk. I've asked them to put together a press release for us so that we can get it out to the residents. So I appreciate it very much.
Last week, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, I heard 8 gunshots outside of my home. These people walking down the street and just started shooting. They didn't care. Police came later and they didn't hear any sirens, but these kids are not afraid. They're not. Since I've been living here, I've met like 5 people from Sauk Village, and 4 out of 5 have gotten their house broken into. You know, right now they're saying, oh, but that's when you live on the bad side. You know, just like a virus, things spread. You know, whatever side you're on, I wouldn't feel comfortable. I really wouldn't. We need to put an end to this shooting, gang violence, the drugs. You don't have to be a cop to see where the drugs are being sold. Everyone knows it. I mean, what do we need to do to change this? Because this is ridiculous. I also met someone who buys homes out here. You know, he owns 10. You know, he rents them out. You know, he needs to make the people he rents these homes to accountable for what they're doing. If your son or someone living in your home break into another home, the lease shouldn't be renewed at all. They should be put out of this community because, you know, this is crazy. I'm reading blogs and, you know, about Sauk Village and how great it was and how beautiful it was. I come in this room and it feels like, Mayberry, Annie Griffith show. Everybody's so close and so sweet. But outside, it's not like that. It's really not. I don't want to move. I love my home. I really do. But, it's like, oh, Peterson Street, that's the bad street. Okay, if you know Peterson Street, the problem, we need to start making Peterson Street or the people who own Peterson Street as far as renting accountable for the tenants. They don't have to live here. They don't. They can leave. They can put out. But they don't own nothing. I own my property. And I shouldn't have to leave. And I am a taxpayer. So I shouldn't have to run because, okay, I just moved out here. No, I'd rather have change. And it can be made. This could be resolved. I used to live in Hazel Crest, which is close to Princess Hill. They watched their tenants. If there was any type of activity, we had a place called the Versailles. It started getting bad or whatever. What Versailles bad? You know what police did? They put a cap on that. Okay, they started having patrols going around that area. The tenants that weren't doing right, or the kids got in trouble, was at the police station. They had to go. They had to leave. Guess what? The neighborhood is much better. And Country Club Hills wasn't having it at all. Okay, but I just want you to know, I don't want to have to move. I really don't. I just think there's enough people in this community to make change. There's a lot of working class people. When I leave out and go to work, a whole bunch of other people do too. And we shouldn't have to worry about someone breaking in our homes.
I just respond to a couple of those real quick. Again, I appreciate you coming to the board and providing this information. Here's some of the things that we're working on. Number one, the village board just passed law a month or two ago, the crime-free rental housing ordinance. We're getting that in place. Again, that takes time. I've been dealing with other towns like Park Forest, South Chicago Heights, and they're all finding the same thing. It takes a large amount of time to get things working and getting it running. However, once it's up and running, it's a major tool that we're going to make sure that we use. And some of the towns that's had it now for 4 or 5 years, they are now running at full speed, and they say it does work in their community. So we have passed it, and we are working on getting it up and running. Neighborhood Watch we talked about tonight, getting that program up and running, getting residents educated, getting them informed, start getting visual signs out there in the streets so that if you come out the criminal elements, the ones that are doing these types of crimes and causing the residents problems, at least they'll know that the neighbors are out there watching, they're going to call the police. So, well, I can't really. And the other thing too is police employees. Last month, I think it was last month in April, we brought in three more police officers. Our police were short-handed. Okay? And we filled vacancies of 3 police officers last month. This month, May, we just swore in 3 more police officers. Now these police officers are going to school to fill in vacancies. So we're filling the vacancies that over the last 4 years that were never filled. Okay? So again, getting police presence on the streets, that's a must. So it is, and again, it's a slow process, but we're doing it as quickly as possible to be able to go after the criminal law. And we know that crime, again, Trustee has already mentioned it, crime was one of the major issues that people talked about in this last election. So thank you very much for coming. And we don't want you to leave Sauk Village, we want you to stay in Sauk Village. So don't go anywhere. All right, next.
I am Francine Anderson, and I'm at 1606 216th Street. And I didn't get your name, but I live in your same community, Mr. Elected Mayor. I am interested in understanding what are you going to do about the crime. You just told me that you added 3 more police officers. Only missed 1 meeting. So I don't know when you inducted. When did you swear me in? I only missed 1. And that was the government day. So I would like some more particulars on these particular 3 new people that you added, and now you have 6. And then we have officers that are afraid to do the work. Let's just be real, tell people the truth. And that is because, well, she said we had 8 shootings or 8 gunshots in one night coming from Peterson. So whether Peterson is an issue or not, the whole north side area is a whole issue. We are dead the same. If the shootings can happen that randomly and we have no police protection, then when is the change coming? I will forward you my information for your new police officer. First of all, I want to know when did you can answer those questions today because it's already been done since you said you already got it. When did you install them? What are their salaries? Who are they? And where were they on your police list? Those are 4 questions that I'll take the answers for tonight. That wasn't what I stepped up to talk about, really. But since you said it, we might as well talk about it. Let's talk about the Republic Guards. If our changes, are our days going to change as well? They're going to do with the garbage. I understand you said Mr. Blue is coming in to do a presentation. Can you reiterate the date and the time for that? And I'm also interested in understanding when is the budget hearings? And when will that information be led for the public? Is it on the website? Is it going to be in the Sauk Talk? And you keep reiterating, putting things in writing, and you're going to have a press release. coming about garbage information, can we make our Sauk Talk a little more friendly? And Madam Clerk, I'm sorry, I was late, but I see about 5 other people who don't have agendas today. We came by paper. I find it very rude, and I find it very much a problem that I can have an agenda, but I can pay my taxes. I can pay your increased water bill. I can pay that garbage bill. I can pay the sewage bill. I can pay every bill you give me, but I can't get a piece of paper when I come to you that costs less than a penny. Thank you. Is my time up? I really have more. Always. Is it up, ma'am?
You got 20 more seconds?
Thank you. So, Mr. Clerk, will you have enough information for everyone? Can you answer that, Mr. Administrator? So that we won't come to the next meeting and I won't have a council payable? Because I do really would like to look at it, and I have to borrow from someone else in New Orleans. Sorry. Thank you.
All right. I know you asked questions about the police officers and stuff. There'll be a time where we do a ceremony, where we're going to do a swearing in a regular board meeting. I don't have their names in front of me. Is it the 14th? On the 14th, they'll be here for the swearing in, so you get to meet those 3 new police officers. Again, they're in training, and they were not appointed by the mayor or anyone on this board to sue the fire commission. So we have that information. The garbage presentation will be here on May 21st. That's when Republic and Skyline is coming back. Budget hearings is scheduled for 5:29 and 5:30. They are from 6 o'clock to be no later than 9:30 on each night. So that gives us 3.5 hours each night to do the budget hearings. Budgets will be available upon the village board as normal. Once the village board goes through it, makes some changes. The draft budgets will not be available because it all is a working piece of paper for the board to work on. But once we get ready to pass it, we'll follow state statute. It will be available for residents to view. So we'll make sure we follow that. Currently, right now, we make, I think, 50 copies. Is that what it is? Currently, we're making 35 copies for the residents on the agendas. If we have, I want to move it up to 40, 45, 50. Okay? Let's move it up to 45, 50. But we also make sure that those agendas are available at the front desk, and they're also online. So we'll raise that number, and hopefully that number, what we're trying to do is, again, save costs. But again, I agree, we should be able to have a copy of it here. So we'll raise it to 50. All right? Next.
Hello. Just want to thank everybody for to be here today. I want to say hello, Mrs. Williams, hello, Ms. Williams, hello, Mr. Burgess. Nice to meet you, Mary Hanks. I spoke with you a couple of times on the phone. My name is Ursula Hyde, and I'm CEO of Paradise Club for Kids. Good evening, Mr. Hoskins. I'm not too familiar with you two gentlemen here, but hello anyway. I have a couple things to say. One is a Hello World leader speech that I would like to say. But before I would say that, I want to say what I'm actually doing for the community for the class of 2013 and working with District 168. I am the CEO of Paradise Club for Kids. And what we're doing now is working with Rickover Junior High School, and we're donating gowns and dresses to the graduates of the class of 2013. It's going to be on a first-come, first-served basis, and what we're going to do is we're going to have a big event afterwards. So we want ladies to be able to pick out their wear for their graduations, and I want this to be a whole community thing. I want to invite everyone out that wants to come. I want to call the media, and I also want to bring Sauk back on the map, because it's always something negative out here in our town where we want to live and we want to stay. So we're going to be working very, very strong with the youth for the summer. I think Mr. Poppins is a great guy. When I came to him for help, he was like, I can do whatever I can to help you. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So he asked me, he said, Ursula, what is it you have to do, what is it that you're gonna do for the youth for the summer? So I have your question now, okay? This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do as a community, not just my foundation. I'm gonna be calling on everyone in this whole entire community to keep our community safe. We have a lot of seniors out here, and we wanna allow them to be able to sit on their porches. We want to have something for the youth to do for the whole entire summer. And this is going to take the whole community. So I'm asking this. So I'm going to say my speech, okay?
Hope it's not long too much.
25 seconds.
Yeah.
Thanks for the dresses.
If you can get a copy of it, you might want to give it to us.
It's Hello World Speech Leaders. Hello World. How would you all, as a nation, like to be a part of history?
5 seconds.
It's time for all of us to come together.
Ms. Hyde, your time is up. I apologize. How long is your speech? Is it a couple pages? Yeah. That's what I thought. I saw you bring a bunch of paper. You would do us a favor, okay? And let's make sure you get your speech to the North Shore. Show me copies for all the trustees to review. But I have to be consistent with everyone. But do me a favor, stay afterwards and meet these trustees. We've talked quite a bit. But stay after and meet the trustees, if you would, some of the residents. Again, we want to get the residents involved.
Sure.
I appreciate you coming out tonight, and it's great to have a face now with a name.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Gentlemen, one.
Ed Shangle, 224, 222. I'd like to touch on John Dennis, about commander for the VFW folks. At the ceremonies, the veterans over there, some gave their lives and gave parts of their lives anyway for veterans. For 2 years in a row, I donated flags. If you go to that ceremony, if you can, talk to John Dennis and give him a few bucks so veterans can have flags in the parade. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, anyone else? Seeing no one else, we'll move on to number 9. Miscellaneous business and comments from trustees.
I just want to say thank you to all the officials, department heads, volunteers, this 2016, for the best student government day in a very long time. It went well.
Just go there and donate.
They enjoyed it. They enjoyed being here. They enjoyed the trips out to see the different village buildings, and then they enjoyed bowling afterwards. And I just want to say thank you for everybody who participated, and thank you for everybody who was here to witness it. There was a really big crowd, and the kids really did love it. So and thank you for the clerk who did a lot of the work that I was able to do. So thank you very much for that. And then thank you for singing Happy Birthday.
Mayor, I'm still looking for committee members for Parks and Rec, so anybody interested, please contact me or call me or whatever here at the Village Hall. We're scheduling another sign-up day for not this Thursday, but next Thursday for the baseball league that we're trying to form. We do have now one full team in one division, and Linwood had to cancel their little league for lack of players. So I'm meeting with them this Thursday to see if we can't merge the 2 weeks together and get enough kids to have a baseball season starting probably sometime in July. The other thing I'm trying to do is on Memorial Day at 1 o'clock, I'm trying to have a fundraiser for fireworks for the 4th of July. I need softball teams. People want to come out and play. We're selling hot dogs and stuff out of concession stands to raise money for the firework display. That's all I have.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, you stated that, I'm sorry, Trustee Banks, you stated that you hired, did you just hire 6 officers in the last 2 months?
Yes.
You hired 6 officers in the last 2 months?
Village.
For the village, without the board's approval?
With the police and fire commission. I did not personally hire them. I didn't interview them or anything. It goes to the police and fire commission. We fill the vacancies.
Okay, thanks. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This young lady, the last young lady, might have a little to you, it's actually what we're trying to get across to every resident of this town. I appreciate you getting up here saying exactly the same way I feel. I would love to be able to work with you, and I know Miss Washington, and we'll both work with you 100% along your road. That's great. I want to have a copy of that, though, okay? Thank you. And on another note that I believe it was Anderson, or the young lady that had bullets shot outside of her house. I know how it feels. The same thing happened on 2100 block at 221st too. Not last weekend, but a while back. It's one heck of a scary thought. And by the time you call in the police respond, they may be on the other side of town. The bad guy who done these, I don't want to call them kids, these juveniles or that were in the attic. They think it's a fun thing. They don't realize what that bullet can go. They just pop it off in the air. It will come down sooner or later. And I've been around where the bullet come down and tuck it out and juvenile. But my hat goes off to the week, but that's what they would watch out for. And I would love to see you next meeting to explain the situation where people will understand. I'll call the police and stuff to get to the actor. And I want to say I'm sorry that it happened in this town completely. And I know the mayor and myself are going to check in with the police department, see what the outcome is, see if the investigation going and so forth. But after the meeting, give me your number. I'll be glad to get back to you or whatever I can to you. Some of the information is confidential because it's an ongoing investigation, but I'll get back to you and tell you what's going on, everything I can tell you though. All right, and for that matter, that's all I have, sir.
All right, thank you very much.
I'm sorry, I don't want to say this, I know it's it now. I don't know, is it appropriate for the police department to have access or to be signatures on the police and fire commission's banking account? Why would they be given, or anyone be given permission or allowed to sign documents, checks documents? Isn't that a conflict of interest? Why would you allow police officers to be responsible to sign checks that have to do with the police and fire commission when it's the treasurer's job to do that?
First of all, police and fire commission, they're not.
Not the police and fire commission, I'm talking about the police officers. Why would you allow police officers to sign, to have their signature on the checking account for the pension board?
You were talking about the police and fire pension board?
Yes.
Which is not part of this board, they are their own separate board. They have their own separate.
But that was the responsibility of the treasurer of the village, not any individual in the police department at the conflict of interest.
Sir, I tell you that I have no say over the police and
Okay.
fire pension board. Neither does anyone on this board have any say over the police and fire pension board. So, everyone knows that. It's a totally separate. All right, please. All right, please. All right, I just want to give my report real quick and we'll get you out of here, okay? First of all, before I forget, happy birthday to Trustee Williams. Second of all, I'd like to thank everyone that came out to on Saturday to the baseball fields. I tell you, we had a great time painting, cleaning up. Pictures are out there on Facebook. Look at some pictures, maybe posted somewhere around here around Village Hall. We're excited about being able to bring new programs to the youth. We're excited about being able to have another area where the youth can come out and play. I'd like to thank the Public Works Department for coming out and mowing the grass, getting the fields turned over. It brings back old memories when you can walk out there and see how those fields look. So I encourage the village residents to come out and use that property. It's a village park. Bring your families out. It's exciting when I can pull up to the Village Hall now and see families coming out here to the park behind us. Almost every night you can see cars parked out here with mothers and fathers and grandparents and aunts and uncles watching their relatives and their family members out playing on the playground equipment, watching the young men and young women playing basketball. That's what it's about. Come out and use it. It brings joy to all of our hearts. especially through the CFADUs. The other thing is use it again. If you see the green and white totes where you come and you put stuff in, they sent us a certificate of sustainability, I think tonight. 2012, Sauk Village, Illinois. This talks about what we save the environment. So when it comes to textiles, 44,194 pounds were collected. When it comes to water, 61,871,600 gallons were saved. Landfill space, 253 cubic yards were saved. CO2 emissions, 309,358 pounds were prevented. And garbage truckloads, we diverted 10 truckloads. So it's the first time I've seen one of these. We just received it, so I think maybe it's something we should be proud of. I mean, if you use these type of drop boxes, we encourage residents that if they're full, maybe you can come back. We don't want to see your stuff hanging all around it. But if they're empty or they're partially empty, you can put the stuff in there. I think this is good information, especially if we're trying to save our environment. And this may be some good information that goes out to our schools also, because I know they're constantly doing projects on saving our environment. So we've got that. The next one, I don't want to spend a lot of time, but this last Wednesday, I had the opportunity to go down to Springfield for Lobby Day. While I was down in Springfield, we had a great day. Started the day off at IML, and IML had a great presentation on current bills before the House and before the Senate, and how they affect our communities, our municipalities as a whole. We started there that morning. We went from there to the state capitol, had meetings throughout the day with state representatives, with senators, and we ended the day with a meeting with the governor. The governor spent almost an hour, maybe even a little bit more than an hour, meeting with mayors. And what Springfield is starting to realize is the South, what they call the South region, the South suburbs, if you want to call it Cook County, but the area that we're living in right now has almost more voters than the remainder of the state of Illinois. So now they're starting to realize they have to listen to the South Side. For the longest time, the South Side was not receiving what we should have been having come to us. They were putting the monies in down south, southern Illinois. They were putting them up maybe in Chicago or to the north side. Now they realize they need to start putting money in the South Side. We had a great day with the mayor, commentary with the governor. Mayors got to shoot questions at the governor. We talked about capital bills. Right now, the governor's putting a capital bill together and looked for us mayors to provide information so he can start providing us more money for more capital projects when it comes to infrastructure and roads. The governor realizes that the roads in the state of Illinois, not only just in our municipality, throughout the state of Illinois, are in very bad shape. So yesterday, we put together a capital bill and sent it to Southborough mayors and managers, which is putting all this information together to an entire packet to go to Springfield, to DECO, for hopefully this capital project. So we put in 4 projects, major projects. We're looking at each project was over $1 million. So I'm not saying we're going to get it, but hopefully we'll be able to. I had a great opportunity to shake the governor's hand and give him my card, and he knows about Sauk Village. Because when I introduced myself, I gave him the card. He goes, Sauk Village. He goes, we have some work to do out there. And I said, yes, sir, we do. And he said, water is number 1. He came out with water. So he realized the problems that Sauk Village has faced over this last year. But again, it was time to get face-to-face, and I got his card. He gave me his card. I gave him my card. So got to do a little swapping there. I sent the village clerk reading the information out to the trustees. A small packet of information that was received, I sent to the village clerk. We talked about income tax. Great little piece that INL put out talking about state revenue growth and local revenues. State revenue growth is increased, continues to increase. For our municipalities, we stay flat. We were able to hand this to the governor. We asked the governor for support. Right now, when it comes to state revenues, municipalities get 6 cents for every dollar. The state gets 94 cents. And we are getting now less than what we were getting in 2008. And they're not expecting us to get back up to 2008 levels about 2014, 2015. Okay? So we were able to talk about how when it comes to municipalities, we're flat. We need the revenues, we need the growth. We talked about economic growth, we talked about some of the major issues. And again, not only our state representatives, our senators, but the governor also knows that Springfield is in deadlock right now. Things are not getting back, but there's some major issues. We're talking about the casino bill. I know some of the mayors talked about making sure that there's availability for a casino in the south suburbs. We know that the governor has already vetoed it. I think he said twice already. But they're trying to get something for the governor to agree on. We talked about economic growth. We talked about the problems that we're having, especially in the south side, to not only have to compete against the state of Indiana, but also have to compete against our other counties. Cook County is the only one that taxes their businesses different than any other county in the state of Illinois. So we were able to get that out to them. We talked about priority lists from South Florida mayors and managers, which is important. We talked about, I mean, we have a lot of information here. Taxes was a major issue we talked about. We talked about bills that we passed. You know, State Representative Anthony Luca, who was our state representative for years, he put a bill out that passed the House and right now is being held up in the Senate. We went to sit in front of Senators Colton, I think is his name, from the Senate. He's the one that's holding that bill from being passed. We went out there in front in his office to try to get a meeting with him, and he wouldn't meet with the mayors. However, he knows our presence was there. Okay. State Representative Anthony Luca has got the direct deposit for LGD proceeds. It's passed the House, it's being held in the Senate. I encourage you, the residents of this town, call your senators, ask them to have that bill called and passed. What that bill does, it provides that local portions of income tax proceeds are directly deposited into local government distributed funds for allocation rather than being placed into the general revenue fund. This would allow the problem for state being late on distribution to local governments. The state wants to tell you that they're only about 90-some days behind schedule, when in reality they're anywhere from 5 to 6 months behind on giving the municipalities the money that's due to them through state revenue. So we applaud State Representative Anthony Luca for getting it passed in the House, and now we're putting pressure on the Senate to get it called to get it passed. We also talked about, and I have it here in front of me, the fact sheets that we're given. We talked about the South Suburban Airport plan. They are moving right ahead. And believe it or not, the edge of the property is right just to the south of us. We're close to it. And if you look at the map, everything in red here is all the property that they've already got. And they're still going after to get additional properties. This airport, once it's built, it will be larger than any of the Chicago airports. And people don't realize that. And the governor, when he met with us, he stood up and made it very clear, Chicago is not for this airport. The mayor of Chicago is against it, he's fighting it. But what does the third airport do for the south side? It brings jobs, it brings construction. It's what's going to help our south side. So we're moving forward. The Senate, again, is holding up funds from INOT from continuing purchasing properties. So as mayors, we're putting pressure again on the Senate to release those funds that have already been approved so they can continue buying property. So we can get this going. We had a great report talking about this is a perfect location. We have everything. The governor calls this a hub, an island in the hub, because everything is there that we need. We have the workers available in the south side of the hotel with the construction. We have the hotels. We have the access roads. We have the expressways. It's a perfect location where it's going. So we had a great talk about that. We also talked about the governor's water initiative, where he had $1 billion put aside for municipalities to get low interest loans. That's one of the things that we're taking advantage of. Taking advantage of that low interest loan for municipalities for infrastructure and for water, for our water initiative. That's just a few things, and I've taken more time than I wanted to. But I know some people are asking, what did you do when you were in Springfield for a day? By that night, I was dead. My feet felt like they were bruised, but I couldn't hardly talk. My mouth was dry because we were meeting some people. But the important thing is that I was there representing Sauk Village. Next year, on Hobby Day, I want the trustees to go with me to Springfield, because it's an opportunity for the trustees also to meet the state representatives, to meet the state senators. And it's not just one voice coming out of Sauk Village. I want to go in there as a major voice for coming in from Sauk Village, so we have 6 voices, so that they know about Sauk Village and then we can continue pushing the stuff. So once I find out what the date is, I will be going to the trustees, asking you to, number one, make your schedules available, and asking if you want to go, and we can start working on an agenda on what we will do while we're there. So look forward to next year. I think it's a great time. It's something that we need to do as a community. So that ends everything I have. Move to, do we need to go into executive session? So we need to go into executive session. Should we go down to number 12? Any motion